Today's session is recorded, and we will have on a panel Dr. Divya Prakash, Dr. Gupta, who will be joining us from UK and from Bombay. And today's session, what we are basically talking about is helping you understand and learn about hospital or healthcare recruitment in the UK. RSR Global has been around for a while, and we are working with loads of government, NHS trust, and private hospital healthcare in the UK to recruit people. So I will give you a brief account on the company, share you the screen, and at the end of the session, we will take your question and answers. So the total duration of the session would be about an hour. We will try to cover as many topics as possible in terms of how to get ready for recruitment and to face interview panels and everything else. And in the end, you can put your questions through a chat line, and we will do so. But in the meanwhile, may I request you all to please mute your microphone so that we are able to make the appropriate presentation to you. Without further ado, let's start the session today. Welcome again. My name is Rajesh Srivastav. I'd like to welcome you all who are here today. Give you a brief account on RSR Global. I will take you and share my screen and take you and show you about a company, who we are, how we are, what you've been doing, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's take it from there. RSR Global, it started about in 2020. It's another old company. It just came along a little while ago. We started the company with the objective of helping nursing staff to come to the UK and work for NHS and other private operators. Soon we have moved ahead, and we also thought to help people with education as well. We are into a few other areas. We help in the field of hospitality, and additional field in the terms of banking, finance, and engineering will be coming up soon. Healthcare, when you first started this company was a small team of a couple of people. We started to set up an office in India, in the UK. Soon we have grown up, and what we have done is in time, we have a lot of people who are joined our team. We have Dr. Divya Prakash, who is a consultant advisor from UK, Dr. Abhinav Gupta, consultant advisor from India, Dr. Manisha Bhopale, she's also in healthcare. Mr. Ray Chabra is another consultant. So we have people, and plus on top of that, we have offices across 15 countries in the world where we are able to connect with you. So 37 offices in general across different parts of the world, plus 37 other offices in Philippines alone. So you can connect with them, talk to them. They will be able to help you and make a journey as smooth as possible to come to the UK, or any other healthcare providers where we are working with different countries in the world will be able to connect with you. A journey, we make sure that we not only help you find you a job, we'll also train you, teach you, get you ready to face interview panel. On top of that, we provide you further support in terms of if getting you insurance while before you leave the country, help you with bank loans, help you with visa, ticketing, and other aspects. So it's all get covered into a pastoral care, and pastoral care means we ensure that we take you, groom you, get you ready. And once we find that you're ready to face interview panel, we'll show you the pathway how to come to the UK. So this is all about RSR Global. RSR Global is growing massively and growing across the world. And if you want to go on a website, it is rsrglobal.co. You can connect and find out about it. If you go on a section about healthcare, it talks about nursing. It talks about doctors recruitment. It talks about allied healthcare recruitment, dental recruitment, and so on and so forth. So you can click on any of these websites, and you should be able to get ample amount of information how to make your journey as smooth as possible. So this is the page on RSR Global on nursing, and this is in particular talking about nurses in a band 5 level. We work with nurses, we work with doctors, physiotherapists, biomedical scientists, pharmacists, healthcare assistants, senior carer, you name it, we work with all of them. And the kind of support we provide includes job screening, helping with your IELTS, OET, ECTS, NARIC, you name it, we'll help you with that. We'll help you with your computer-based test. We'll help you with document verification. We do your background and healthcare checks. We help you with scheduling your interviews, processing of visas, flight and accommodation booking. We do the whole lot for you. Moving on from there, this particular page talks about recruitment of band 5 and above band 5 nurses in the UK. We are also moving ahead with recruitment in Ireland and Germany, and soon Canada and USA. Australia will follow soon after. So how to be able to come to the UK, it tells you a little bit of information. When this website was made, it said that you have to be fully qualified nurse with a BSc nursing. Even if you have a diploma, that's more than enough as well. It talks about how much score you need in IELTS. And it tells you about OET and everything else. So it talks about everything else. When you get to the UK, we pick you up from the airport. We either take you to the hospital where you are recruited, or we take you to the OSCE training center, where you spend the next 4 weeks getting your personal identification number and the training. So we have a tie-up with NHS, and we make sure that we will take you there, because sometime when you go to the hospital to book in your OSCE can take a couple of weeks, some months. And while you are not done your OSCE, you're not registered nurse, and you haven't received your PIN number, which is a personal identification number, the salary which they pay is slightly different at the initial part. To avoid that, what we have done is we have made sure that we have tied up with NHS, and we have created an agreement whereby we pick you up and take you to the center to train you, teach you and all. And the whole journey, not only this, the entire aspect, right from your NMC registration to your OSCE, or for your CBT test or IELTS or flight ticket, visa, coming here, and a couple of weeks of accommodation is all covered by the employer. You don't have to pay a penny to anyone, either in India or any part of the world or in the UK. So it's all been covered up and taken up. When you get here, we provide further support to you for a couple of weeks, making sure that you're not left on your own. And if you want to pick up a phone call and give us a call, we are happy there to support you on that thing. This is all about things. So it talks about how to register with NMC registration. You can click on the site here. You can find out. You can click on the site to know about IELTS. You'll click on the site to know OET, right of board, education, visa, the whole lot. Everything is available on here. So you can click, for example, National Nursing and Midwifery Council. If you are registering as a nurse, that's where you need to go through. If you're coming as a doctor, it needs to go through GMC registration. If you're coming through an allied healthcare professional, then you need to go to HCPC. So all this information are available, freely available for you. The team across the world are there to support you, to understand the process, how to come through and all. So it's a self mode, and you can just go on it, and you can connect, and you can fill up your details, and you can just walk us through. That's as simple as that. So this is all about RSR Global, and there are links here which is takes you how to connect and how to get registered with NMC. But to start with, the first and foremost thing for RSR Global is to make sure that you register with everything else. Now, one more thing which we have not talked about for a very long time, you can follow us on our social media, which is a very vital point of information. And if you click on Facebook or some of our social websites, including on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube and all, you have all of that. All you need to do is to like and share, or if you follow our Facebooks, you can constantly see what's going on. So all these sessions, as a matter of fact, just so that you're aware, your session is made live on Facebook. So people are able to watch us and who are not able to connect, because we can only take a limited number of people through a session like this. So this is all about RSR Global. Now, the reason why I wanted to connect with all of you and or who are around here is to help you with one very, very vital aspect. And this particular aspect, which I would like to talk to you about, is to do with interview skills. We are working with loads of healthcare providers. And our journey is not only to find a job for you. We work on a little differently. We try to find the best of the candidates. At the same time, we try to find the best of the employers. We do not work to find a job and put you there. No, we all, just as we speak to you, talk to you, try to find out you're the ideal candidate for an employer. Simultaneously, we also do the same for the employees, that we find out an employer is good enough. So we negotiate for you as best as possible in terms of remuneration, in terms of what other benefits those people are able to give you. Are they paying for your IELTS? Are they paying for your OAT? Are they paying everything? Now, there are two types of employees we have, which we're going to cover today, and that is in UK, those who are part of NHS, National Health Services. Then there are private operators with private healthcare providers. The rules and regulations, employment laws, everything is exactly the same. But sometimes the private healthcare operators, they tend to pay a little bit more compared to NHS. But some places they pay more, some places they're less, but overall package works out the same thing. Then we also have started working with care homes, but making sure that when we find a care home, we have the absolute best care home for you to work with. And to make the entire journey interesting, we will not ask you a single penny. We get paid by the employers, and we're happy with the way it is. So not today, not tomorrow, never will ever ask you to do so. At one point of time, we'll also ask you to sign a disclaimer. Just in case you had to pay for something at any point of time, we should need to know. And to help you that, we are launching a system called application tracking system, which is individualized platform for you. You get on the platform, you load up your CVs, you load up your documents. As you go along from the interviews, you'll get to know their all the certification gets loaded up onto the same platform. When you buy your tickets, when you buy your when you get your visa, we'll know. When you fly into either when you come into UK or any other country where it needs to be, we'll know where you are. So to organize transport for you, we will not let you out at the airport for nothing. We'll certainly make sure to pick you up and take you wherever we need to take you. Hand over, give you in a safe hand. So it's all of that. Now, the today's session, as we mentioned, is going to be on interview skills. We have conducted these sessions previously. All the offices across the world are aware of these stipulations. But without further ado, I'd like to share you through, and I will try and make it as fast as possible. So give me a second. Let me find out where exactly it is. Yes, there we go. So I will set up this thing so that you are able to see what I have to talk you through. Give me a second, ma'am. So RSR Global, this is a sort of document which we prepared a long time ago, and we shared it with all our offices. It talks about how to be prepared for an interview. We do one-to-one screening of all the candidates. And for the interview panel, we have Dr. Deva Prakash, Dr. Gupta, Dr. Manisha Bhopade, and other healthcare professionals who are with us, and they talk to you. They find out what are your shortcomings and how to be prepared for it. So we have this link for applicant screening. Every day it happens, 7 days a week, and there's a code for that, which we'll be able to do it. But there are certain things which we are struggling with, and hence the reason we wanted to talk to you on that. One of the main thing when we come for an interview, or when we come for a screening, or when we come for a meeting, a couple of things which we have to be very, very careful. Preferably connect through a computer. Do not use a phone. If you don't have a computer, and if you have to have a phone, then put it on a tripod stand. It should be at your face level. That's how it should be. test the technology. When we say the word test the technology, is to check the speed of internet. We conduct interviews constantly, and we have seen situations where a candidate is not able to speak, or the employer is not able to see them because they are connected and the video speed is very bad, internet speed is very bad. Either they can't hear it or they can't see it. Now, for NHS to organize an interview, they allocate about £300 for each interview, lasting about 40 to 45 minutes, and they have 3 or 4 people in the panel. So apart from the initial talk, there are people who want to see and study your face. And there are people who does that to know exactly if the person who's telling the truth or not. But if they're not able to be seen, it beats the purpose. So it's important that you check the internet speed. If you're using a phone, please make sure it's charge it up. But there's a problem. If you do an interview through video conferencing, if a call comes through, the phone will disconnect, and that is and will go absolutely against it. So it's very important to do so. Never walk around the room with a phone. It's very, very distracting. So within the panel today, so you can see the screen. You can see some people are trying to move the phone and how distracting it can be. Last but not the least, dress for success. If you're coming for a session, for an interview or a screening, you need to be dressed professionally. That's very, very vital. Now, there are a few more things. Sets the stage for a distraction-free video interview. When we say distraction-free video interview, we provide screens to all of you. Not that we're trying to brand ourselves, not we're trying to do something. You're free to use your own screen, but do not let people watch what's happening behind you. Anything behind on a shelf or something can be distracting to them. Let them concentrate completely on you. You're sitting and facing an interview from the confines or the comfort of your home. At least put a little effort in trying to justify why you're there, and make the employer know that you value the interview, though it's all free and everything else. But to tell you the fact, NHS or the healthcare providers in the UK, they pay you 10 times the salary what you're drawing in your own country. It's absolute 10 times salary they're providing you. And someone providing you 10 times salary, they expect to see a little bit seriousness and a little bit more dedication than trying to connect for a session. So this is one thing. If you have a meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning, try to be there for 9:45. Wait for them in the waiting room. Please give a screen name, your own name. If you're using somebody else's computer or something of the sort, you make sure that you're able to change the name, because when they're meeting you, they're meeting 10 more people simultaneously. And if in the waiting room, if my name is Rajesh Srivastav, if I'm writing RSR Global because the name of the company, that's one thing. But if it's you, and if my name is Rajesh, and if I don't put Rajesh on my screen name, it's very, very difficult for employers to find out who is waiting in the waiting room. Maintain a good eye contact. Make a very, very positive body language. Listen to the question. Listen to the question. Give a second or two and then answer. A lot of people, they start answering a question even before the questions has finished. That's not right. That's not the best way to do it. And in the end, when the interview is over, uh, you must thank them for giving them an opportunity to come and meet you. Because even if you get a job or you don't get a job, somebody is trying the level best to help you get to where you want to be. And the least we can do is say thank you or a please. That's something which should be part of your vocabulary when you're meeting the panel of interviewers. Couple of things ahead, which we mentioned again. Prepare yourself ahead of time. Check the technical equipment and test the sound or microphone. 9 out of 10 interviews will happen over Microsoft Teams, or it'll happen on Google Meet, or it can happen on WebEx. Very rare you'll ever find an interview will happen over Zoom. Very rare. So you have to have the technology on your computer. You have to have the technology on your computer loaded up. The link for the interview will come at least a week or a few days in advance. So you have the time to set it up. And on the day, if your computer or internet is not working, that is nothing but a sheer bad luck. And once they miss an interview, it's very difficult to find another one walking by the next day. So it's very important to check your technical equipment, test the sound, declutter your space and minimize distraction. If I put my hand at the back, my hand disappears because after 1 feet, I can't be seen. So if there's a cupboard behind me, it's very distracting. People do not want to see your curtains or cupboard or a fan or somebody walking behind you. It's not appreciated. Dress appropriately, look directly in the camera, have a positive language, body language and appearance, and write down a question or two for the interviewer at the end. So it's very, very vital. They will always start an interview with two things. One thing, tell me something about yourself. And in the end, they will ask you, do you have any further questions? You must have a question which is non-financial. Do not talk about money, that how much will be my salary, what bonus and all. Those things will be disclosed prior to the interview. So it's important that we have a question about work-life balance or what are the career prospects and how do you progress and all that stuff. But you must have a question. Having a question shows that you're interested. Having a question in the end, you shows that you have the passion for a job. If it's a work related, even better. So that's how it should be. You can print a copy of your CV. You can print a copy of any documents and keep it in front of you. That's absolutely fine. If you want to refer to these points, it's appreciated, it's accepted, not an issue at all. That's something. Question going to dress code. Are you coming for a professional interview? Today is Sunday, everybody's at home, appreciate it, no problem at all. But if you're coming for an interview, if you're a man, try to dress up into neutral gray or navy blue as a suit and a tie. Gray, navy blue, black, or a neutral color as a suit and a tie. If it's a lady, try to put burgundy, green or something, but it has to be formal. Try to book an interview when you are not working. You work in a hospital, you're working in somewhere, and you're wearing a thing, and every 2 seconds you're trying to appear for a question, and someone is trying to draw your attention, that will go against you. So if the day is booked for interview, wherever you are, they will ask you which are days you're free for interview. They'll give you options. Try to book it from a day away from everyone. Go to your home or wherever, find a room, lock the door, shut the curtains, put the lights on, check your internet, make sure everybody who can be distraction, tell them to be away for next 1 hour or 15 minutes before the interview or 15 minutes after the interview. Then there should be no one to even call you. Turn off your mobile phone, put it onto mute. Make sure your phone or your computer is charged and you have good internet speed. Very, very vital. There are a few points which is mentioned about for ladies, more to do, and even for men, how to have your hairstyle to be dressed up and all, how it should be done. These documents are shared constantly with your team. Now, when we have interviews, the interview happens on a lot of different platforms, and this share piece of document will share it. If you haven't got it, you can ask your offices through which you have come to us to help you with this documentation. Make your speech positive, speak slowly, speak clearly. I have a bit of an accent, and so is everybody else. So people have to speak very clearly and not being distracting. Now, having a positive words like able, being creative, dependable, energetic, experienced, flexible, hardworking. These are adjectives. Make sure to add to your profile. This very, very vital that we have. This document also has a sample interview questions and answers. These are freely available on YouTube. If you're coming as a band 5 nurse, you have questions. If you're coming as senior care assistant, you have questions. If you're coming as a physiotherapist, there are questions. If you, excuse me, Jojo, if you do not distract the screen, please. Now, there are other things on this particular document, and that is to do with commonly asked questions. And this document will tell you what are the different questions I asked. This is not set in stone. These question and answers are meant for you to look at, read it, and be prepared. But always, always, the first question will be, tell me something about yourself. And when they say, tell me something about yourself, your answer should not be more than 2 minutes. Answer should not be more than 2 minutes. It should be, my name is whatever, Rajesh Srivastava, whatever your name is. I am a registered nurse, or I'm a doctor, I'm a physiotherapist, or I'm a healthcare assistant or senior carer, whatever is my profession. I have done my degree or diploma in the year. You must remember the year. They must tell them. So if you say I did my degree in the year 2010, you know, by saying so, these are keywords. An employer will pick up there that this person has got 11 years of experience. There's no point telling that I have done from XYZ college in some place. No, I have done my degree or diploma in the year this thing from India or from Nigeria or Philippines or wherever you're from. It's important. That's what matters. My specialty is this areas, whether if you're a nurse, whether you're whichever area you are from, medical, surgical, ITU, or wherever you are. If you're a doctor or specialist, you can say that. If you are just a junior doctor, you can talk about it. If you're a physiotherapist, say you're a physiotherapist. In the UK, they do not like the word doctor to be used in front of physiotherapist. Very, very vital. So you have to tell them why you want to come to the UK. Don't say that you're coming. Everybody knows you're coming for money. I know, you know, everyone knows, but talk about you want to have a career progression. I want to try and learn more skills. I want to see how things are done. And most important, never say anything negative about your country. Never say anything negative about your employer. Keep it absolutely positive to the best possible. Try to be calm, quiet, answer, and do not repeat the same thing multiple times. So once you have said something, keep it to as limited as possible and take it from there. And that's how interviews are done. And the best thing, before they even see you for an interview, to have an absolutely perfect CV. We have CVs. We recommend people should have a CV in Europass format. Make sure you have a nice picture in front of them, and put your CV with the last job where you're working at the moment at the very top. And then, for example, 2021 to 2017, you worked in a hospital, you put on the top, then the next one, then the next one. At the bottom should be the last, the first experience wherever you worked. Say, example, 2010, you worked in a hospital, it should be at the bottom rather than on top. If your degree is in MBBS or nursing or whichever course you have done, that degree is important. Your knowledge, your skills in English proficiency, that is important. If you have done your nursing, it's but expected that you have done your class 12th and class 10th. You don't have to talk about that. Why to waste space? And write positive things on the website. Most important being spelling mistakes or grammar mistakes should not be there at all. It doesn't look very good to anyone who's looking at your CV. And the last thing, one more thing, which is very, very vital, when you talk about they will ask you, tell me something about yourself. Don't walk them through that. Oh, 2005, I did this hospital or for a few years and this one. They can also see your CV. So when they can see your CV, there's no point to re-elaborate on that. Try to cut on that. So try to keep your initial speech on tell me something about yourself to 2 minutes, and let's start talking. Most of the interviews would be technical in nature. The first 5-10 minutes would be on general talks and all the stuff. They might ask you about your family. They might ask you where you live and all the stuff. And that is not because they're trying to be friendly. They're only trying to calm you down, because people do get very nervous for interview. It's video interviews are getting more and more popular. There was a time when we used to make face-to-face for interview, but this is going to be an interview conducted from thousands of miles away. So it's important that we are absolutely ready for an opportunity like that. Now, this is something which we have talked about, and I suppose we also have with us Dr. Divya Prakash. I'm just trying to find out if Dr. Divya Prakash, sir. Hi, are you Mike's sister?
Yeah.
Would you like to add anything further to to the lovely people who are here with us today, sir. And then
Uh,
we can take any question and answers from all of them. You can put your questions on a chat line, and we should be try our best to answer to best of our abilities. Over to you, Dr. Saab.
Thank you, Rajesh. Nice to see so many people over here. The one thing I will say is that this country, UK, is looking forward to employ you. So they're not looking to reject you. Okay. So come with a positive frame of mind. They want you and you want to come over here. So it's like a marriage. So be relaxed, do the things that Rajesh Srivastava has said, and know your subject. If you haven't done something, please don't say that you have done it. Don't guess because you'll be caught out and that will show you in a very bad light. Know what you have done. You can give examples of good experiences, bad experiences that you may have had in your job if you're asked, obviously. But don't try to make up things which you have not seen, not done, or which has not been part of your experience. Be honest, because if you are dishonest, you will not get a job and people will find out. Okay, so don't try to lie. But most of you will not lie. Most of you have got good experiences, and you just talk about the things that you've done, and that's all we are looking for over here. Okay, be relaxed, be calm, and you'll be fine. And that's all for me, Rajesh.
Thank you, Dr. David Prakash. Very kind of you, sir. So this fact is, it's a session, interactive session for all of us. May I request you to post your questions on the chat line, and we will try our best to answer to the best of our abilities. Over to you, guys. Let's try and start. We have another 20 minutes of session to go for, and we'll do so in the meanwhile. While the questions are getting populated on the screen, there are a couple of things which I like to bring it to you. One thing is when you come into the UK, you're coming under skilled worker visa. Skilled worker visas are issued now in 5 days, which is very, very vital. Second thing on the skilled worker visa is this also gives you an ability to bring your dependent partner or dependents. Basically, that's the word I should use. Your husband can come here. If your wife can come here, your children can come here. That's not a problem at all. And while you are on a contract to work with the employer, uh, your partner can work wherever he or she finds a job in the UK. They can work full time wherever they find a job. No problem at all. No restrictions at all. The education for children is free. The medical facilities are free. And there are a host of other benefits which are given by the government to people who are coming here. Healthcare workers are in great demand. At the moment, NHS alone is looking for about 60 over 1,000 number of nurses. They are looking over 500,000 people in different capacity as healthcare workers, nurses, physiotherapists, doctors, and so on and so forth. So there is a demand. Whereas the hospital or trust is looking to employ you, and you're looking for a job, it's a 50-50 kind of arrangement. And as Dr. Devi Prakash said, it's a marriage between the two people, the two things, whether you and the organization. So it's when you come here, there's no need to be desperate. Show confidence, talk calmly, and take it from there. Now, what we are doing, we have tied up a massive contract with an organization in the UK, a set of organization, and we are looking for just over 200 nurses to be deployed between the month of August, September, and October. So it's important that you fill in your application, contact the nearest office wherever you have, fill in your details. If you are struggling, you can write to us on contact@rsrglobal.co. So I will put your email. In case you are struggling with anything, you can write down this email address and you can write and speak to us, and we will tell you whom to connect with, who will be able to support you. That is where it's very, very important. We have a question here, Dr. David Prakash. Sir, it says, is there an opportunity for clinical research? The person concerned is a clinical research professional with 9 years of experience. And she has a BSc nursing degree with PG diploma in clinical research. So they're just trying to get a better career prospect in the UK. Over to you, Dr. Devaprakash, sir.
Um, Very good question, and it's an interesting one as well. There are two aspects of it. One is that you can do research work while you're working as a nurse. And the second thing is whether you'll be employed as a research nurse. Now, the specialist research nurse posts are few and far between. They do exist, but very few nurses will be employed only for research purposes. Actually, in my hospital, we'll be looking for one as well, because there's a national research that will go on in my department. But I'm just diverting from the point. The second thing is whether you'll be able to do research as a nurse, as a functioning nurse. Most definitely. And you are actually encouraged to do that. You can become part of an existing research project that's going on, or you can initiate your own. Apart from researches, there are lots of audits that are being done, and every hospital has got an audit department and has got a separate research department. So you'll have to enroll your project with them. So the answer is yes, you will be allowed to and encouraged to do research works.
Thank you, Dr. Devaprakash. Very kind of you, sir. The question has come from Annie. Annie has done UKVI IELTS, and she's looking for a job as a senior carer. I think I can answer to this, Annie. To be able, there are two things. One is to be able to come as a nurse or as a band 5. And for that, obviously, you need 7 overall IELTS or OET grade B. If you want to come as a senior carer, yes, we are working with a lot of trusts and hospitals and all, trying to bring them as a senior carer. But there's a slight difference. The difference is a nurse comes as a band 5, and then they go on to become 6, 7, 8, 9. That's how it goes. The salary for in NHS is starts at £25,600, and at band 9, I think they get 120,000 pounds salary. When you come as a senior carer, your salary starts at £20,480, which is the minimum salary needs to be paid. Now, this is for private or government hospitals, and then you work on. You can certainly come as a senior carer, not an issue at all. But there is another route which we would like you to try, and that is called ECTIS. IELTS in India, if you're from India, it's no longer operated by British Council. IDB has taken over the organization. So to come to UK, there are other routes, whether you can try through ECTIS. It used to be called NARIC in old days. If you want further information, you can contact the nearest office, or we can provide you that. Or try to Pearson's or Trinity College. There are various other ways to come through to UK. The demands are high, and I think before you jump on to the thing to go as senior carer, try ECTIS and see ECCTIS. And if you don't have information, please let us know, and we'll be happy to help you that. All right, another question which we have got from Preetha. Preetha says that she has sent her application for senior care visa and wants to know a present status. Just to let you know, Preetha, we have worked with we are working with loads of organizations and trying to close the contracts. As I said as part of my initial conversation or the talk, that we try to find you a best of employer. NHS is a straightforward organization. We know how things work. Private hospitals, they are straightforward, we know, but there are smaller operators. And we want to, just as I said, we try to find the best of candidate. We try to find you the best of employer as well. A lot of applications have been processed, and interviews will start falling through one by another. India was under, if you're from India, India was under restrictions. They were marked as red. So if you were to fly from India until even today, if you fly in from India today, you'll be put on 10 days quarantine, costing employers £1,700, or you individually 1,700 pound of 10 days quarantine. Today, 8th of August, 4 o'clock in the morning, India will come down from red list country to amber. So you still have to quarantine, but you don't have to quarantine in a hotel. You can quarantine at the place of your wherever it needs to be at work, or in a separate place. You can, if the accommodations is offered, you go and stay there for 10 days, and that's absolutely fine. It will not cost anybody anything else. And that was a delay. It has happened. 18th of August, the flight from India is starting full-fledged to UK. Initial first few weeks, the flights are costing a lot of money. If you go online and check the flight cost, because all the flights are starting now, a normal ticket from UK to India to UK, or UK to India, was 400 pounds. The tickets are going for 3,000 pounds at the moment. Employer will say, hold on, give us another 2 weeks when the tickets will stabilize, and where they are able to pay a smaller amount of fee to bring you here. So that is where it is all about. But as we said, the senior carers, doctors, dentists, physiotherapists, the whole lot, we will have loads of vacancies for you. And all we want is you to get prepared for a meeting. You can contact your nearest office. They will organize one-to-one screening. We do separate screening for nurses, for physiotherapists, and for doctors. And we make sure that we are ready. And though in person, I can only talk about journal, but on technical part, that's where Dr. Devi Prakash, Dr. Gupta, Dr. Manisha, and everyone else who are technically qualified, they come and help you. Idea behind is not to screen you and search you out, but to help you prepare for a panel. And I'm happy to let you know all those people whom we have screened so far and we have prepared them for interview. They all been successful, whosoever employers they're meeting so far. And that's what we want to do with you as well. So this is where we are. Going back to, okay, Annie George, what will do it if you write to me on contact@rsrglobal.co. I'll certainly make sure to send you more information. But in the meanwhile, let me share the screen and see if I can show you. And I think it might be a good idea that we might take it down from here. So let's see the web. If you can, if you can see the screen, go on Google. And all you need to do is go for skilled worker visa. So I will send a link for that. Probably it's the wrong way to go to skilled worker visa because I'm using the computer from UK. You might see differently. And in the skilled worker visa, if you go to knowledge of English, there is a link for apply through Actis. It used to be called UK NARIC. They are accepting it. And if you're looking for a visa, the prices are £140. This is what English proficiency is. So I will put a link for you. You try to do it from here. But before you get on this, the most important thing is to register with GMC. So I'm putting the link for Actis on the thing for you all to share the collected from here, and you can find the information. But before you go through Actis, please apply for GMC registration. And if GMC registration says, yes, I'm happy to take Actis, which I think they can, quite confident, I would say 99% I'm confident, then you don't have to go through IELTS or whatever. Basically, Actis means if you have done your degree in English, a BSc degree in English, all you need to upload that CV and a letter will come in 5 to 7 days stating that, yes, your BSc is equivalent to UK BSc or in nursing or whatever. And that is more than enough. You don't have to go through IELTS or OET or any of those things. So please try this. It's the easiest and the fastest way to do it. That's what we are. So I hope you have been able to get the link to this. Dr. Divya Prakash, there's a question from Priyanka. She wants to know a little bit about senior carer and wants to know what exactly is the role of a senior carer, sir.
A senior carer basically is not allowed to dispense medicines to the patients in the wards, is not allowed to assist in the operating theaters, and generally is in a supportive role of a nurse. So without some kind of nursing diploma or some kind of an some kind of a training in the nursing side, you cannot become a senior carer, because you've got to have the understanding of how patients are being managed. One thing, Rajesh, I would like to point out is that many of the applicants that we have seen, they have got nursing degrees in India, and they have also got some very good experiences, but they are applying for carers roles because of the scores they have received in the English examinations. I would suggest to all of them, and I think you should point it out to them as well, that they should use the carer's job as a stopgap arrangement, as a stepping stone, so that they get the foothold in the country, in UK, start earning money, start to settle down, and use the opportunity to improve their English scores. And once they've got the scores, then they start working as nurses, and the career prospects jumps radically, and so does the money. So to come back to the question that was asked of me earlier on, essentially it is in a supportive role. You will be in the wards, you will be assisting the nurses, you will be doing all the things, caring for the patients, looking after them, feeding them, dressing them, even helping nurses with Venflons and IV fluids, medications being issued, but you'll not be allowed to give the medicines to a patient or inject a patient or do anything that is a nurse's role. Does that answer your question?
Thank you, Dr. Devi Prakash. Very kind of you, sir. So just as we mentioned, Dr. Devi Prakash, just to add something which is a very recent thing has happened. IELTS in India has been taken over by IDB, and it's all of a sudden not very much in British Council is not very much interested in IELTS in India. So they have given alternative routes of coming through ICTIS, and I think that could be the best thing ever. Because if you register with a Nursing and Midwifery Council, their options for ICTIS is given. And if you have done your degree in English, all that you need to do is upload this certificates, £140, which is 14,000 rupees in India. You can get allowed to register with NMC. Moment you are registered with NMC, you don't really have to worry about IELTS and everything else. So I would suggest to try and do that, and it'll be really helpful. And same thing we have another query, Dr. Devi Prakash, and I think I'm qualified. I think I can answer to this. A person says she has done GNM. She's a GNM qualified registered nurse from India, an IELTS score of 8.5 and 6.5 in writing. I think you are absolutely perfect. That's what we need. You need an average score of 7 for IELTS, and writing could not be more than lower than 6.5. You are eligible to come as a nurse, registered nurse. So if I was you, I'll go on to RSR Global website, find the nursing recruitment page, find the NMC registration page, register yourself straight away. Moment you registered, they will ask you to upload your documents and all, and you are visible to the employer. And if you are able to do so, as I said as part of my conversation earlier talk, we are looking to bring in 200 nurses from India. So how about doing that? And we can possibly see you here in a very near future. So I think IELTS is perfect, but you have alternative ways to come through from there as well. This is where we wanted to talk about. If you have any other further questions, feel free to add now. We're coming to almost the end of a session. Probably we can take 2 more questions before we finish today's meeting.
Mr. Rajesh, I got one. Can I?
Sure, Mr. Prabhu. Go on then.
Mr. Rajesh, I just it is, as you said, the NMC registered for nurses. See, as I've been in Caribbean, the girls who come, the nurses who come here, they want to have registration either in Jamaica or in nurses, any of these countries. They are not accepting Indian registration nurse, but they want to make it registered in Jamaica or any of the New Zealand, Australia, and any of these countries. How about Indian nurses for now, Rajesh? As you said, what is a basic? As you said, ILTS is taken by IDP. How further it goes? How the nurses be? How can I see as I'm working in hospital? If I'm promoting this thing to the nurses, how should I go about? How should I say this thing?
What I've done, Mr. Prabhu, I have put a link on Nursing and Midwifery Council in the UK. That's a link I have given on the thing. You need to register for NMC UK to be able to come. It's yes, obviously you're working, and a part of the NMC registration, they will ask you a question, which is the country where you registered with. So if you work in Caribbean or Middle East or in India, that will be asked at one point of time. So, but this is the basic. You need to register with NMC UK because you're seeking an employment in the UK.
How about doctors? How about a doctor's recruitment, Mr. Rajesh? What are the band in LTS?
For doctors, it's band 7 again. Same thing for nurses, but for that you don't register with NMC. You go through GMC.
Okay, I got it. I got it, Mr. Rajesh. Thank you for your.
I would suggest when you get your opportunity, please go on RSR Global website. So this one I've just shared the link. Nursing and Midwifery Council for the UK for nurses. If you go for a healthcare and you go for doctors, you'll have information how to register with GMC. Or if so, this is the details on how to go about getting a job as a doctor. You'll find all this thing, and it talks about apart from GMC, obviously you also need to do PLAB 1 and PLAB 2, which is for your doctors. This is something which you have mentioned. If you're coming as allied healthcare professionals, then you come through HCPC. That's another one which you have to go through. Dr. Devi Prakash, would you like to elaborate any further on to this?
No, I think what you said is absolutely right. It all depends on whether Prabhu wants to recruit nurses and doctors from the Caribbean and bring them over to UK through RSR, or are you talking only about yourself? I wasn't clear on that.
So I'm talking about not myself. I'm planning to come through RSR. I can bring from Caribbeans. I can bring from India also. But Indian, I can do from, I'm just dealing with Ajit Chandal. I'm dealing with Ajit Chandal. For Caribbean, if I'm doing with Caribbean, that is what I mean to ask, sir.
Okay, so if you're wanting to bring nurses from the Caribbean over to UK, that's brilliant. Get directly in touch with Rajesh, give him a call, speak to him through WhatsApp or whichever way you want. You can email him as well. And we'll be very happy to have nurses through you from the Caribbean. But the the UK requirement remains exactly the same. The English criteria will remain rigid. The nursing experience and qualification will remain the same, whichever country they come from.
Excellent. I got your point, doctor. I'll do that then.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Prabhu, to add to what Dr. Devi Prakash said, ILTS is the #1 choice for any healthcare provider. They prefer ILTS in the UK ahead of everybody else. So that's something which we all have to look into. But there are new alternatives. Just as if you go to USA, I think they use TOEFL, if I'm not wrong. But if you do IELTS, then you're not only eligible for recruitment in UK, USA, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. I think to a certain extent, even Singapore, if I'm not sure. But 5 countries definitely prefers ILTS. Going back 20 years ago, TOEFL was the #1 choice in those days, but no one can beat ILTS, whether it's run by British Council or run by IDB. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for taking time to connect with us. Thank you, Dr. Devi Prakash and part of the team who are here today, and hope we have been able to answer some of your questions. But on the onset, as we said, it's an absolute brilliant opportunity for all of you. RSR Global is there to support you to make this journey as smooth as possible. Please contact the nearest office, get your documents ready, get your CVs in place, making sure that you have the right details to put through. Put extra attention on your CVs, your interview skills. Practice. If nothing else, sit down in front of a phone, record your interviews, let others listen to how you're answering questions. Get the practice. And once you're there and once you meet this panel of interviewers, you be assured that you can be in this country in the very near future, and it'll help you because country-wise, UK is a very safe country, very nice country. I came to this country 20 years ago to be here for 2 or 3 years. I haven't finished this 22 or 3 years. It's been 20 years now I've been in this country, and I can assure you, you'll find it very comfortable, and not in terms of standard of living, in terms of salary, in terms of education for your children, and for other job opportunities. So that is all. Thank you all for taking the time to come and connect with us. Have a lovely afternoon, and we look forward to meeting you all in the near future. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.